It says here that God is their appetite or their stomach. Now you'd think that Christianity has got nothing to do with eating and drinking. It doesn't matter how much you eat or drink. Well, that's not true. It speaks here about some people whose God is their belly. In the margin it says that God is their stomach. When is a person's God his stomach? Can a person whose God is his stomach, in other words, someone for whom food is his God? Is it possible for a Christian to have food as his God, whom he worships? Definitely. And it's one of those things which the Bible speaks about. The New Testament speaks about it. The Old Testament didn't speak much about this at all. But the New Testament speaks about it because one part of taking up the cross is keeping this body under the control of the Holy Spirit and keeping it fit for His use. And it's a well-known fact, any doctor will tell you, that if you're indisciplined in your eating habits, you will shorten your life. You will not live the length of life God planned for you. God planned when you were born a certain length of life, and you shorten it by making food your God. Yep. Whose God is their stomach. What are some of the evidences that we worship food? Well, if the food is not up to the mark one day in your home, you get all upset about it. Now, there's nothing wrong in telling your wife there was a bit too much salt there, or, I don't like so much chilies in my food. That's okay. That's just a matter of taste. To have different tastes is okay. Some people like less chili or more. That's not the point. But who get upset about something. I mean, here your wife has tried her best to cook something and you get all upset with that. Brother, I want to tell you honestly, your God is your stomach. You're worshiping your God, and that particular day, the food didn't satisfy you and you're upset because that is your God. Take that seriously. Enemies of the cross of Christ, whose end is destruction, whose God is their stomach, and glory in their shame. How important is this? Let me show you. You probably never heard me speak about eating. But, Jesus began His ministry with 40 days of fasting. Now, I've never recommended people to fast 40 days because you're not going into a ministry like Jesus Christ. None of us are, and I have never done that. But I believe a certain amount of fasting, particularly in your younger days, is good for you to overcome this worship of food. All of us are born with certain unique characteristics, like children. All children fight. And all children love good food. It's all natural. It just comes to us. And as we grow up, some of these things have to be controlled. And fighting must be controlled. And the love to eat everything that's, as we grow up, we discover certain things are not good for our body. And we just keep on eating it. I mean, we think about the people who drink too much, or, oh, those guys are on drugs. Drugs harm the body, or those guys drink alcohol, that harms the body. But there are a lot of other things that harm the body too. Not just alcohol and drugs. A lot of sicknesses that we get, like diabetes and blood pressure. And some of these things that can shorten your life or give you a heart attack or a stroke are not partly due to hereditary, what we inherit from our parents, but also due to what we eat. So if I don't control what I eat, I'm going to shorten my life, and I'm concerned about that. I don't want to live one day less than what God planned for me when I was born. Not one day less. Not because I love this world. I detest this world. I'd rather be with the Lord. But I know that God's got a plan for my life. And He's got a plan for your life too. Whether you're fulfilling it or not, I don't know. But I have had a tremendous passion from my younger days to fulfill God's plan for my life, because I know that's the only worthwhile life to live on this earth.